guys, we are here, and last month when I talked about our monthly market updates, I said this year in 2025, I'm switching up the format, and I am going more towards doing a quarterly market update, talking about what's happening in our real estate market. But in between those quarterly updates, we are going to be hearing from some of our favorite local mortgage experts to talk all things mortgage, all things interest rate, and keep you guys up to date on what's happening in that. So we're not going into market details. That will be in March. At the end of March, we'll do a quarterly roundup on how everything happened in first quarter. But we are going to talk with Jared Hudson from NorthStar Mortgage about all things mortgage and interest rate related to keep you guys up to speed on what's happening with all of that. So let's bring him in. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Kim. How
awesome.
are you?
Doing well.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we are so excited to have you. So this is Jared, and he is going to talk to us about what's happening with interest rates right now, what we're supposed to expect maybe going through this year, through the first quarter, and even in, maybe through the end of the year. Of course, nobody has a crystal ball to predict that, but just what's the buzz in the mortgage industry.
So right now, we're kind of expecting rates to stay flat. We're not expecting big movements, nothing that's going to raise the market drastically, but on the flip side, not drop it drastically either.
So no big rate drops expected right now, but not looking like any increases coming our way. So that's important too.
No,
okay.
And right now we're sitting around 6.99 on conventionals, and we're going to be around 6.37 on FHA and VA. So that has made improvements in the past month, but it's not big needle movers, of course.
Yeah. So, but those are still good rates, and they're better than the rates we were seeing this time last year. Yes. I don't know if you guys recall, but it's a little painful for a lot of people last year around this time. And last year we saw through the year kind of an overall decrease in rates. Again, nothing drastic.
Yes.
Sadly, we're not back in the 3s and 2s, and we're probably not getting back there. Maybe, I don't know, we may not get back there in my lifetime.
I would be shocked if that ever happened.
Yeah.
It would take something drastic in the economy to drop it back in the 3s ever again.
Yeah.
It's kind of wishing... you don't want to wish anything bad, but that's what it would take in order to get back down to the 3s, of course.
Yeah. Well, and so in looking at where rates are right now and the steady of the market, which is good. I mean, it's almost, I would think as a consumer, it's a little bit comforting to kind of know, okay, 2025, we're not expecting big changes in rates. So you're not trying to time the market so much or figure out like what's going to happen next month and the Fed's going to meet and is this going to have a big impact. It's pretty much known throughout the industry that we're just not going to see big change in interest rates this year. So in looking at that, from a buyer perspective and even a seller perspective too, because most people kind of aiming to sell are also aiming to buy. So they're gauging those decisions off of what things are going to look like when they buy after they've sold their home. So in looking at that, tell us some about what you feel like is a good strategy for people considering the buying market or already in the buying market. Give us some of your thoughts and expertise.
Yeah, so there's an old saying, the interest rates are temporary and houses are forever. Steady is a good thing.
Yeah.
So right now, I think the best play is to find the house you love. Let's get in the house. And then you could also look at refi if rates ever drop drastically to make an improvement. And look, if they don't drop so much where you need a refi, then you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You still have the house you always wanted.
And one of the things like that Jared and I were talking about before the video is, we're in a market where rates are holding pretty steady right now, and we anticipate that for the year. But over the last 5, 6, 7 years, home prices have done nothing but continue to increase. Home values have continued to go up. So the longer you put off that purchase, and especially if you're renting right now, because rent is sky high. It's crazy expensive to rent. So if you're putting off waiting for some big drop in interest rates, you're likely just postponing to a point where you're paying more for the same house next year that you could have gotten at a better value this year. So with that in mind, what do you guys offer? Any kind of like refi programs, anything that's beneficial so that if somebody does say, hey, I'm getting in now, and let's just say, by January of next year, hey, rates have come down to the point where maybe it is beneficial to refi. Mm-hmm. Do y'all offer anything special with that? And what would be that point that you might recommend somebody consider a refi? Talk to us about some of that.
Yeah, so at our company, NorthStar, we offer a free lender fee refi. Now, you will have attorney fees and appraisal, but a lot of programs, actually, we can get the appraisal covered as well.
Okay.
And when it becomes beneficial is, look, if we can drop your payment $150, it's worth it. I mean, if we're looking at a point to a point and a half refi, and we are offering a free lender fee refinance, that takes a huge portion or a huge chunk of the payment out of it for you.
Yeah.
And that is, right now, that would be the best option, the best outlook.
So, and basically, like, if you're going to refi, there are expenses, no matter what, there's expenses involved in refining. So you've got to balance out like the cost of that refi versus the savings on the interest rate versus how long you anticipate you're going to be in that home. So with a program like this, their cost to do it is a much lower cost without those some of those additional fees, which means those numbers can balance out a little better. And those are things when you're looking, like Jared is somebody you would call if you're looking for that strategy on what makes sense for me in terms of purchase, what makes sense for me in terms of refi down the road. He's going to be able to give you that big picture because, look, if you call a lender about a refi, not all lenders are actually going to ask you, well, how much longer do you anticipate being in this home? So you're looking at doing a refi today and you only anticipate being in that home another 2 years. The cost of the refi might not balance out for you, the cost savings. You may have actually cost yourself more money by getting a lower interest rate based on refi fees. So if you've got somebody like Jared, and especially at NorthStar where they've got a program that you can participate in where you're cutting those fees, your options for refi and actually saving money and benefiting yourself maybe higher than with other lenders. So, but having that trusted lender you can talk to about those things is really important, who's not just going to say, oh yeah, let's refi so that they can, check it off their box and add it into their closed volume for that month. Having somebody that's going to help you walk that full scenario is really important to make sure it's the right thing for you. Okay, so Tom is in the office today. He's not always in the office when we do these videos. And I'm going to bring him in to tell us real quick just what he's seeing. Tom is our buyer team leader, has been with the team for 10 years, does all things buyer side, is absolutely one of the most knowledgeable buyer agents in our market and knows our market inside and out. So I want him, a little impromptu here, to jump in and just give us an update on what's happening in the buyer market. So
wow,
tell us.
Some introduction. Thank you. Boy Kim here. That's what they call me these days.
Yes, he's also known as Boy Kim.
Yeah, no, happy to join in. What we're seeing right now, goes to what Kim and Jared are actually talking about. I am seeing a lot more buyers enter the market for a lot of the reasons that they both just outlined. So there is a little competition, but not the competition we saw in 2019 to 2022. Not 15 offers, but
yeah, not that bad.
People are starting to realize rates are temporary, home is forever. As Kim mentioned, prices will continue to go up. That has been a historic trend, for decades. So, heed their advice. Call me, and we'll get you started on the home buying process.
Call Tom. So, all right. Contact information. We're going to wrap this up and let you guys get on with your day. If you want to talk mortgages, talk interest rates, figure out strategy, How do they reach you, Jared?
Yeah, so you can reach me by cell phone, 706-681-9797. Also email Jared, Jared, .Hudson, Hudson, at NorthStarLending.com.
And I'm going to put this in the comments below when we post all of this. And then Tom, all right, how do they reach you?
917-693-7021. My email address is simple. It's not boykim@kimmixon.com. It's tom@kimmixon.com.
So that wraps us up. You guys know how to reach us. If you are interested in talking anything real estate, of course, I manage all of the listing side for the team. So if you're considering selling and trying to figure out what that looks like for you, give me a call, 706-332-6349, or shoot me an email, kim@kimmixon.com. And that'll wrap us up until the next episode of All Things Mortgage. And if you guys need us for anything, any questions, just call us, text us, email us, and we are always here to help you. So we'll see you.